Hello everyone, this is the Game 9, here to bring in a part of Apologist Ace Attorney. Let's not let you guys off. We pretty much now starting the case trial. Yeah, we found out that Walkie has a ticking time bomb within his body now. Something that apparently the doctor himself did not tell us about. It's kind of shocking that they decided to do that. So I guess we'll go on and continue with the case and talk to this witness that we have right before us, which appears to be a graduate of some kind.
So, you will tell us your name and occupation.
He is interested in that book, isn't he? My name is Wesley Stickler. By occupation, I take it to you to refer to labor, a profit society at large, and suffice under which definition I must encompass to being unemployed. However, we must acknowledge the meaning of identity, which is commonly attached to this notion of occupation. Unless we have accepted this reality, we see that our confusion is not gap. I'm not even going to try to keep up with this guy. This guy annoys me.
By which he means to say that he is a student. A junior at Ivy University, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, in the Department of Science and Engineering. Filled with curiosity for all things, I spend in my days the pursuit of truth, honing my...
Herr Stickler, please direct that curiosity to the case at hand today.
Very well, Mr. Stickler. Please testify to the court about what you saw on the night of the crime. You asked quite simply what I saw. However, we must understand that the Homo sapiens possess two eyes, which is these designed to receive and interpret data. Sending. Screw it! I'm not even gonna try to keep up with this guy's testimony. Yeah, and with that, they even cut off his testimony because you know how annoying he is with that. That night, I passed through the night on my way home from the shopping when I saw them. One man pulling a stand, another man facing him. I saw them quite clearly. The man facing the victim was the defendant. In his hand, he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointing at the man pulling the stand. It shot. The bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front, square in the forehead. Interesting testimony you got there, Mr. Stickler. Oh God, I can say 100% accuracy that there was not. Jesus Christ, man. Daggone Band-Aid.
The pistol our witness refers to is this.
The court accepts this into evidence. I will say this much. I apologize if any of the audio for Clavier is unsynced. I'm gonna try my best to sync it. And we got the pistol that was said to be shot at the guy at the crime scene in our evidence. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may cross-examine the witness. Yes, Your Honor. Trucy, why are you staring like that witness? That man. I can't help but feel that I've seen him somewhere before. Yeah, maybe you have. Or maybe he just has one of those faces. Knock, knock, knock. Yeah, okay. We want to present to his last statement, which, if I remember correctly, was that he was shot square in the head, right? Yeah, we want to present some evidence to contradict that, which actually we got this right here saying that he was shot in his temple. That is not on the front of his head. So we present this. Whew, that's all of it. I think I have a chance.
Is that you relaxing, I see, Herr Justice?
Huh? Oh, ahem. Objection! Once it's quite enough, Mr. Justice. Apollo, pace yourself. This trial's not over yet. Right. Ahem. Look at this. The autopsy report? Is there a problem with the autopsy report? Right. A problem. Problem. Yes! The problem is the location of the entry wound. The location? You testified that the killer shot the victim square in the forehead, did you not? Ah, I have already determined your angle of inquiry. Allow me to explain. It's quite simple, really. First, understand that when I saw the square, I assumed you meant the geometrical absolute. What I meant by this, for example, that the deflection of the meter is 1,000. I'm not even gonna try. I don't know why. I keep on doing that, where I'm gonna try to keep up with what he's saying. But it just, to me, it's too fast. Mr. Justice? Yes? Was your objection to these krypton particle things?
This is the big time and you are obsessed with something so small? You disappoint me.
Clavier? You know what? If you weren't my favorite characters, I would stab you square in the head right now. I would. No, I'm obsessed with something big. I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here. Do tell. Just look at the autopsy reports. The location of the entry wound was the right temple. Temple? Mr. Stickler, you said quite clearly the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction, isn't it? It is, right? Finally. Oh God, no.
Her Justice. Oh, Her
God,
Justice.
no. No! Yes?
Your tactics are outdated, trying to shake the witness by objecting to trifles? Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wound your master suffered 7 years ago. Phoenix Wright, was it?
What? Look, I know the wound was in the wrong place according to this testimony. Yeah.
Hey, her forehead.
Forehead?
Let us imagine you are walking through the park. You see two men facing each other, one with a pistol trained on the other. What would you do, her forehead?
Well, I guess I would try to stop them. I'd probably shout, "Stop!"
And you, Fräulein?
Me? Well, I'd probably scream, "Eek!"
And you, Herr Stickler? What did you shout, I wonder?
Ack! If the victim turned his head at the last moment, gulp. Yes, thank you for jogging my memory. Oh God. It sounds like the addendum to the testimony is required. Yeah, Clavier is a smart one. Just as creepy smart as another particular prosecutor, who I will not mention his name. Edgeworth. And I had to park too. As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. Cease this at once, you two, I cried with composure. The victim turned into the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have been frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. You yelled, "Stop." Composed. I see, so you attempted to stop the crime. Indeed, with composure. Well, maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if you hadn't shot the shot like that. That doesn't really matter now, unfortunately.
Let us consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram if you would.
I'll create another diagram.
The witness, Mr. Stickler was it, stood here. He shouted, "Oh stop, please!" or something of this nature. And the victim responded by looking in the witness' direction. If the killer were to have fired just that moment, as we can see, the bullet would have struck the right temple as in the report.
Oh, you're a sly one, Mr. Gavin. Or not Mr. Gavin, Clavier. That does seem to be the case. Witness the power of Junior and Ivy University Department of Science. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may cross-examine the witness. And remember correctly, there's something fishy about his last statement. Something fishy about his last statement? I think there was something fishy about his last statement. Uh-huh. Tossing it, huh? So you're talking about this pistol, are we? Objection! Wait a second. Wait a second. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Another misleading request. Yet, you're so beholden to your own mode of discourse that you can't see how it affects you. Come again? Wait a second, you say. A second? Are we intending to wait just that single second? 1/16 of a second? Oh, that scared me for a minute. My mic thing came down. That's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. Now, had you asked for a longer period of time, say 3 minutes, 35 seconds, and Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? Am I to understand you are objecting to the length of a second? Yes, no, I mean no. Here, just look at the pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it. A common ploy made of the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints. Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran. That's right. He didn't have time to watch the gun for prints.
Ah, the little girl sticking it to the university student. There's a song in there.
I'm not little.
Then let's think like adults, shall we, Fräulein?
Eh?
What is the killer? The defendant was wearing gloves.
Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo. Well, Mr. Justice, could the killer have been wearing gloves? And I say no way! The record of the murder weapon is very clear that one thing. The fingerprints were wiped, which means some trace of the prints remains, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, he wouldn't have had time to load the pistol. And he doesn't seem interested at all in what I just said. That may be, but if it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the mirrors from his hand and fled. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of.
That sounds solid to me. Well, her forehead, any of your precious objections?
Objection! What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training go to work. You know, I only recently realized something. No matter how many times you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said? Huh? Isn't what obvious? When he restated what he saw just now, he said he saw Walkie drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure of that Walkie threw away. You're right. He's just confused because the pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong. Well, if it can be said that I'm quite offended. While it is indeed the truth, yeah, I'm giving up. Yeah, no more reading Stickler's comments from that speed. What can we say for certain? What can we say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this? Well, if what he threw away wasn't a pistol, then it had to be something else.
At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking.
Oh, dang it! I didn't mean to freaking. Well, there goes another part of my testimony on terror. My voice is gonna have to be taken out. Girl, I'll wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin. Perhaps you can inform the court as the nature as something else. What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene of the crime? Now, if you remember, you picked up something that was pretty sure could have been thrown away at the scene of the crime. Present this. Is that a sword? I saw one of these on the Lat Nate movie last night. Great to sleep deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's prints on it. His prints? This single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't no pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves. Indeed.
Oh, her forehead? You're forgetting two other things you've just proven.
Huh?
One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Walkie Kitaki. Two, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim.
Oh! Indeed. Never underestimate a Gavin is the lesson here. Yes, never underestimate a Gavin. This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would behoove us to hear about what really happened. With less assuming, please. It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later, his brother left him afterward. God. How long will it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? This guy completely messed up my speech pattern. I am sorry. Just trying to keep up with everything he was saying. Just, it messed up my speech pattern. Even though my speech pattern was already messed up to begin with. But, Yet, here you are assuming that my assumption is no better. What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired. I guess we'll hear what happened after the shot was fired in the next episode of the next part of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. Let me guys know what you think in the comment section below about what you believe happened at the scene of the crime before a shot was fired. And also subscribe to keep up with the series. Something I don't do is say subscribe because I think it's unnecessary, but you know what, whatever. Subscribe if you want. Hit the like button because the series, I always appreciate a like. And see you guys Saturday for Hack Versus. It is coming. I'm sorry that it Didn't come last week. So you ask them.